Now let's do the other division. Let's do the NFC East. Now we got to get some of these crack-a-lackin' because, like we said, we are running out of time. Tuesday is the day. Alrighty, so let's look at the NFC East. Washington, Giants, Cowboys, and the Eagles. We already had the Cowboys one up, like we said, because they did start a little bit earlier, so we had to prioritize them first. But our Cowboys narratives are Mike McCarthy. Can he coach? Still a question mark there. Can Dan Quinn coach? Defensive coordinator for this Cowboys team. No elite talent on the defensive end of the ball. Going to hurt to Dan Quinn a little bit. And can Zeke get back to prime form? And we're keeping a big eye on Simi Fehoko. Absolutely love what he can do. All right, and then like we said, the one narrative that we're not watching for this Cowboys team is Dak Prescott. We've got no worries about this man. We already saw early tape of this man working in training camp. The ankle injury, it's looking all great. He's throwing the ball beautifully. We're not worried about Dak Prescott. It's everybody else on that Cowboys team that we are truly worried about. So we're not worried about Dak Prescott. He's going to be fine. But let's start with Washington. What are our big narratives to watch for? Well, obviously, it's going to be the quarterback competition a little bit. Ryan Fitzpatrick is kind of the clear front runner. He believes so. He's saying it. We heard from Terry McLaurin. He's kind of saying it without saying it. Ron Rivera saying this is an open quarterback competition, but we know it's pretty much locked in that it's going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if that is the best decision. We do know that Ryan Fitzpatrick is just a 50-50 quarterback. A lot of people love to attach, Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Fitzmagic plays. And, I don't blame them. It's hard not to do that. We just saw him do it for the Dolphins last season. So I understand that. But he also throws a lot of picks. His record as a starting quarterback is always 6-10, 6-10. He had a 10-6 season with the Jets, but that was with a star-studded defense and, still a little underperforming overall. So I don't know if Ryan Fitzpatrick is the guy. I think I like to see Taylor Heineke a little bit more. I would like to see what he can do in training camp and truly kind of give him a great opportunity, a true 50-50 chance to win the starting job. So for Washington, the quarterback competition. And can Ryan Fitzpatrick cut down the turnovers? Don't want to see a lot of interceptions from the man. And, it's going to be, training camp, so we're not going to get the best look at that. And they're going to be swept under the rug, and obviously that's going to tie into who wins the starting job. But that's going to be something to look for heavily as the season progresses. How many interceptions is Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing? Because he is a gunslinger, because he is a career backup, he's got nothing to lose, really nothing to prove, because he'll never really be a starting quarterback. Whenever you're kind of designated as a backup quarterback, you're really never going to kind of be that starting quarterback. And when he had the starting quarterback job with the Bills, like we said, 6-10. When it was with the Jets, 10-6, but a little underperforming for overall the talent that they had offensive side and defensive side of the ball. All right, so that's for Washington, the quarterback competition, and can Ryan Fitzpatrick cut down the turnovers? Also, Ron Rivera, year 2. We loved what he did year 1. What is he going to do year 2? Obviously, this isn't the most star-studded team. They really don't have that many great pieces. Their biggest name is probably on the defensive end with Chase Young. But offensive side, they have you got Ryan Fitzpatrick, Antonio Gibson, and Terry McLaurin. It's like... meh. It's like meh, So Ron Rivera, can he kind of once again coach his team up to kind of playing above their standards? Ron Rivera not going through chemo anymore, so what's his kind of motivation going to be? Do the team buy into Ron Rivera without having chemo? Does he still kind of command the same respect? I'm sure he does, folks. But, that was something that did come into play. So that's really it. And can the defense be the main focal point? Can the defense kind of be the main thing that holds them to the wins? The offense wasn't putting up, 30-plus points every single game. The offense wasn't carrying this Washington team to wins last season. It was the defense. So can the defense step it up and be the main force again this year? Let's see how Chase Young is doing year 2. And how just once again Ron Rivera coaches this defense team overall. So we'll get a nice glimpse into that training camp. Alrighty. The next one that we've got to do the Giants. The Giants. Alrighty, the big narrative to watch for in training camp. How quick does Saquon Barkley return to practice? We just heard that he's going to start training camp on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list, which is not great. He's coming off that big old injury last season, kept him out for the entire year. He's looking great. He's looking good. We see him exercising and working out and getting right all the time, but he's been real tight-lipped on everything that's come out of his mouth. He has no timetable, and that's the biggest thing. He has not even offered us a timetable of when he's going to return, and that is a big red flag for us. We want to see this man out there as soon as possible. So, Saquon Barkley, how quick does he return to practice? That's the big one. The other big one, Daniel Jones. We need that year 3 leap, folks. We need it. This is not a, hey, we could take it or leave it. We need this year 3 leap from Daniel Jones, 100%. We need him to take the same year 3 leap that Josh Allen did. Because Josh Allen had the biggest year 3 leap I think I've ever seen in NFL history, and that's what we need to see from Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, year 3 leap. Need it. And we'll get a nice glimpse into that in training camp. They've got a lot of weapons to work with, so we got to see Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, dropping dimes, delivering dimes in training camp, so we can start buying into this man as the season progresses. But yeah, that's basically the two main things we got to watch for this Giants team. Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. The defense is solid. It's a solid defense. Nothing great, nothing bad. It's an average, above average-ish defense. Let's actually see where this defense ranked last season. So here we go. Because we're really just worried about this offense. Because if the offense can get right, if Saquon Barkley can kind of be back to his prime shape, if Daniel Jones could be like Josh Allen, it won't matter what the Giants do defensively, because the offense will be putting up 40 points plus every single game. I've got no worries on that. So Giants, I mean, just kind of overall 9th ranked defense. Let's see where they gave up 20. They forced 22 turnovers. Love seeing that. That's kind of one of the highest. It seems like the highest is 29. So 22 is real solid there. Passing, they only gave up 3,800 yards passing. Some teams, majority of these teams, giving up way more, 4,000 plus, 3,700 plus yards. So real solid there. Forced 11 interceptions. Love that. Rushing, they only gave up 1,700 yards rushing. A lot of teams giving up 2,000 plus yards. So love it. Looks like the lowest team that a team gave up was about 1,400. So having 1,700, giving up 1,700, that's pretty gosh dang good. Yeah, so overall, it's just, this is a solid, real solid defense. A little bit above average. I thought, a little above average, folks. Love it. Average team. Yeah, okay, let's compare this to the average team. Here we go. So the Giants, they gave up, let's go back to the passing yards, 3,800 passing yards, and the average was 3,800. So once again, average-ish there. The turnovers, they forced 22. The average was 20. So once again, above average there. You love to see it. Yards given up total, they gave up 5,500. The average is 5,700. So once again, above the average there. You love to see it. Below the average in this sense, but it's actually above. You know what I mean? And then rushing yards, gave up 1,700. The average was 1,900. So this is an above average defense, folks. We can say that. So we're not really worried about the defense. It's really just the offense. Should we take a look at the offense? Because I think the offense was a little wonky. I don't think this was an above average offense, but let's quickly take a look here. The offense for the Giants was kind of just overall ranked. Oh my God, 31st, folks. Jeez Louise. Yeah, 100%, folks. How many points did they put up? Yards? They put up 4,700 yards. The average was 5,700. Well below average. Trash. Jeez. They had 22 turnovers offensively. The average was 20. So once again, not great there. Passing yards, 30,000. They had 3,000 passing yards. That's truly not great. The average was 3,800. That's 800 more, folks. That's not going to get it done. Rushing, 1,700 yards. The average was 1,900 yards. Once again, not getting it done. So really, really, really trash offense. But that was because no Saquon Barkley. So the defenses were just kind of homing in on the passing game. And Daniel Jones didn't have that year 3 leap. He had a solid year last year. Once again, nothing great, nothing to rant and rave about, but a solid step, a solid building block, and kind of what we saw from Josh Allen. Trash year 1, trash year 2, great year 3. From Daniel Jones, trash year 1, kind of trash year 2. We're looking for great year 3, and the pieces are there. Offensively, the pieces are there. The wide receivers are there. Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, the rookie, I'm telling y'all, is going to be absolutely great. Let's get up the entire depth chart. Because they've got like eight wide receivers deep, folks. Here we go. Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay, Darius Slayton, John Ross, Kadarius Toney. And then at the tight end, you got Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph. I mean, they are stacked offensively. This is Daniel Jones's put up or shut up year, and we're expecting big old shut up. He's going to shut everybody up. So this Giants team, we're just worried about the offense. Saquon Barkley, Danny J, can they get it done? I believe in everybody else. Defensively, weapons-wise, and I even believe in our man, Jason Garrett. I think the man's a solid offensive coordinator. Not a good head coach, solid offensive coordinator, and he makes Daniel Jones work, I believe. All right, the last team to talk about in the NFC West, NFC East in terms of narratives heading into training camp is the Philadelphia Eagles. All righty. Some solid stuff to talk about here because they're just, not the greatest overall team. So obviously Jalen Hurts, year 2, or really just kind of full year 1. That's really what we need to see. Has a full training camp behind him. He is the guy. Obviously, Carson Wentz started last year. They put Jalen Hurts in kind of back end, middle-ish of the year, and Carson Wentz is now gone. So Jalen Hurts, full year 1 under his belt. How is he looking? We need to see this man kind of improve. And we liked what we saw from him last year. In the few games that we saw, we thought it was real solid work out there. Like, once again, nothing great, nothing bad. It was just solid work to build upon this year. Their new head coach, Nick Sirianni, he's got to get it done, folks. I mean, I still question the move of getting rid of Doug Peterson. I didn't really think that made any sense, especially when you're going into kind of this quarterback rebuild. Why not keep Doug Peterson, who has this great track record as a head coach? I mean, the Eagles were having winning seasons every single year under Doug Peterson. Obviously not last season, but that was kind of Carson Wentz. We kind of felt like he wanted to be out, and he was kind of forcing himself out, kind of playing like we think Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing this season, just kind of a fuck it attitude and let the ball fly around, and that led to 15 interceptions for Carson Wentz and, a very, very trash record. So Nick Sirianni, first year, big pressure to fill Doug Peterson's shoes. Let's bring up the Eagles quickly here because I want to see what Doug Peterson did year 1, and that's going to be the bar for Nick Sirianni, folks. I'm not going to kind of sugarcoat it. That's kind of what we're going to hold Nick Sirianni to. So let's get the Eagles history up here quickly. Here we go. Doug Peterson's first year head coaching, they went 7-9. So that is the bar. 7-9, not making the playoffs. Winning the Super Bowl's year 2. That's the bar for Nick Sirianni. So got to see 7-9 is the bar. 7-9 is the bar. So obviously with 17 games this season, you got to go either 8-9 or 9-8. So either of those two to try to beat that 7-9 bar. Alrighty, Devontae Smith, that's another one. How is this man looking? Is he looking like the A1, Tier 1 wide receiver that he has to play with, that he has to kind of be like? I want to see A1, Tier 1, Year 1. He's got to kind of put out like Justin Jefferson did last season, honestly, folks, for this Eagles team. He is their kind of best wide receiver that they have currently on their team. Let's get their depth chart up because it is very, very not good. They have Miles Sanders as their running back. Once again, a tier 2 running back. Still solid tier 2, but tier 2 nonetheless. Yeah, you got Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham. I mean, Greg Ward, John Hightower. So, these wide receivers are nothing great. That's why you bring in Devontae Smith, Heisman winner. We believe we have him as our wide receiver 1 on our big board. We have Devontae Smith 1, Jamar Chase 2, Jalen Waddle 3, Kadarius Toney 4, Rashad Bateman 5, and Elijah Moore 6. So is Devontae Smith going to come out and play like the A1 Tier 1 wide receiver that he needs to be, that Jalen Hurts needs him to be, and that Nick Sirianni needs him to be? So we'll see what he's looking like in training camp. Obviously, his weight was kind of the big issue during the draft and during the offseason. We never really bought into that narrative. We don't care if you're skinny, fat, as long as, you're winning at the line of scrimmage. You don't need to be beefy. If you're winning at the line of scrimmage and they can't jab you at the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter if you are kind of ripped like DK Metcalf or if you're just a slim 180 like Devontae Smith is. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Alrighty, what did they draft? Are we missing anything from this Eagles team? Obviously, we know they drafted Devontae Smith, and that was really kind of their big name, their big pickup. Defensively, I don't think they've got anything great. They've still got Fletcher Cox, obviously. Darius Slay's real solid. Rodney McLeod's decent out there. Brandon Graham solid as well. So it's really just Zach Ertz. That's who we were forgetting. Does Zach Ertz get traded? He's kind of been wanting a trade. The Eagles are kind of hesitant on trading him because he is kind of, a big piece. And, tight ends, that's kind of the main narrative, just the overall narrative that we are focusing on in the regular season this year. Tight end University happened this season, getting all the tight ends together, learning from each other, picking their brain, and we can expect big things from all the wide receivers this season. Obviously, with the new addition of Kyle Pitts, that's going to be big as well. So Zach Ertz, he's been kind of one of these OG good tight ends out here. He went to tight end University, and he's trying to get on a new team. So let's see. Does Nick Sirianni keep him? Does Nick Sirianni does Nick Sirianni have enough pull to kind of keep Zach Ertz here one more year? Let's get Jalen Hurts acclimated. We've got Devontae Smith. Hey, Nick Sirianni has to pitch that this is a winning team right now. I don't buy it. I have this as kind of the worst team in the NFC East. But if Nick Sirianni can kind of sell Zach Ertz to stay this year and be like, hey, we can actually win games and we can win the division. I truly believe that. If Nick Sirianni truly can sell that to Zach Ertz could stay this season, folks. So we'll see how long Zach Ertz stays as an Eagle during training camp or if he gets traded. So those are going to be our narratives to watch for the NFC East, folks. For Washington, the quarterback competition, and can Fitzpatrick cut down the turnovers? Ron Rivera, year 2, can he still coach this team up to above average, way above what these players are actually? And can the defense step it up and be a main force again this year? For the Giants, Saquon Barkley, how quick does he return to practice? And Daniel Jones, year three leap is 100% needed. And then for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, year 1, full year 1 under his belt. Let's see if he kind of gets that leadership role, commands the offense. He's got to do something here. Got the full off season in a solid couple of games last season under your belt. Nick Sirianni, first year, big pressure on him to fill Doug Peterson's shoes, and we've got a 7-9 bar from him. Let's see how he's kind of talking. We haven't really loved everything we've been hearing from him. Playing rock, paper, scissors in the draft to determine competitiveness. I get it. I don't love it, but we'll see. Devontae Smith, A1, Tier 1, Year 1. Potentially, and I'm kind of buying into it. We'll see what he's looking like in training camp, and then how long is Zach Ertz going to be there? Does he get traded? So some nice things to watch for the NFC East. And then with the Cowboys, obviously, Mike McCarthy, can he coach? Dan Quinn, can he coach? Can Zeke get back to prime form? And Simi Fehoko, can he get that starting role? We think so. We'll see, though.